Gotta ask the question. Does it have something to do with Taylor Swift?
So Fox asked Taylor Swift to come on set.
Yeah, nowhere
right?
to be found.
Hold
ever.
on. That was their game plan?
Right.
Was to show up and go, please, if you're in the building,
we'd
can
love to have you come
on. We'll wipe the show. We're going to beg you to come on. And it's fascinating because obviously Taylor Swift has changed the NFL.
So here's an interesting thing.
Which is not the same as business.
Conversely, as a leader in business, the minute I woke up at night and looked at the ceiling and said, I think I have a problem with this guy, there was a problem.
Right.
Like if Andy Reid's not waking up and looking at the ceiling going, I got a problem with Travis. That was my dude.
Yep.
He's no longer my dude. He's got a whole nother life ahead of him. Those reckonings are really important.
So here's something that happens in sports all the time that kind of happened with Travis Kelce this year was like, everybody knew that he was kind of on his last go round. Like it was like this known thing. And like we saw Kobe do it. We saw Dwayne Wade do it. We've seen lots of basketball players go through the farewell tour, which I would tell you if I was the owner of the organization, I'd be like, your farewell tour. We're here to win. This is not a happy go round. Right?
We like to use around here.
Look
this
at
is
LeBron.
not
Look
a
at
hobby.
LeBron at 40 is crushing
Still
it.
playing the game at the highest level. And I think if LeBron said, I can't play at this level, I'm out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which is it's just different,
Right.
guys.
And
it's different. That mindset and that passion and that drive
so
to do whatever
hold on
it
to
is.
that Kelce thing. Go back 2 years, 3 years. When he walked in the locker room, he was an animal. His hair wasn't done and he had that grit. And then last night he showed up. He looked like John Travolta.
Gotta ask the question. Gotta ask the question. Does it have something to do with Taylor Swift? Did he get soft? Did Taylor Swift make him soft? Did Taylor Swift make him soft?
So Fox asked Taylor Swift to come on set.
Yeah, nowhere to
right?
be found.
Hold
ever.
on. That was their game plan?
Right.
Was to show up and go, please, if you're in the building,
we'd love to have you come on.
We'll wipe the show. We're going to beg you to come on. And it's fascinating because obviously Taylor Swift has changed the NFL. And from a business perspective, having Taylor Swift a part of the NFL has been, I don't know, a money-making giant.
She brought females to the party.
To the party, which had never really been there or, had been there sporadically, not at the rate that they were. But I don't like to blame everything happening in someone's life for why they didn't show up on the football field. I think it's your responsibility to handle everything that's going around you and find a place for it and come to work and do your job.
Well, there was a story about Patrick Mahomes heard just before the game that his grandfather was passing. He's in hospice and, I don't know. It doesn't matter. You're a human. You gotta find those places.
So one of my favorite quotes from a great movie, For the Love of the Game, Kevin Costner as the pitcher for the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, wow.
His motto before every pitch, clear the mechanism. And it was his way of clearing out the noise that was happening in the stadium and all the thoughts and all the clear the mechanism, focus on doing the thing. The people who play at the highest levels, the people that perform at the highest levels, do know how to compartmentalize. They know how to clear the mechanism.
Unbelievable point that most people show up this morning not ready to do what they're supposed to do.
Especially this morning.
Right.
That's right.
I think the entire city of Philadelphia is on the run from their
emotions. They're caught
emotions.
up, and this will be a hangover for a couple of days.
I watched Get Up this morning. I was watching ESPN. It looked like everybody, just in general, was not prepared to do their job this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with the Get Up set in New Orleans. It was terrible. They didn't even have like an HD feed. It looked like everybody was ill prepared.
We talked the 3 Ps the other day. What were the 3 Ps? It was prepare,
perform, get paid.
Right?
Like
it's a pretty simple process. And if there's a break in any of those, or the first two, you're never going to get paid consistently.
On a typical day, most people that are in sales do not show up prepared mentally, physically with the backdrop of what they need to be doing.
And they
they're
run over.
They're running around.
What happened?
We used to call it show up and throw up.
Yeah.
They're here, but they're at the coffee machine or they're going to the bathroom and they're not doing work. They're just showing up. You got to be ready to do this. For me, that's Sunday night prep. I was prepped before I came to your house for what was going to happen today, had my notes, and then I used the morning hours to get ready. But for whatever reason, they said the Chiefs had no distractions, no injuries. They didn't look ready to play.
I think my number one takeaway, if it's for the Eagles losing 2 years ago and then winning, or if it's the Chiefs going through what they're going through now, is don't run from the data that's in front of you. Don't run from the evidence. Don't run from the things that are right in front of you. And have the conversations based on what you have done, the truths, and be willing to sit there objectively and put your emotions aside and say, look, this is not a hobby. This is a job, and we are required to do these things. And as soon as your organization gets away from that, it's a disservice to everything you're doing on a daily basis. What was the quote you said when we were starting to revamp everything? And I said, I'm sorry, I changed it. I was like, I know we just changed it, but I got to do it again.
If it's not the best it can be, it has to change. Like that. And so I think that's the takeaway for today. That is the edge for today, is it starts in your mindset, and you have to be willing to accept a ridiculous standard and how hard it is to chase that standard, and then deal with all the adversity that comes with that. If you really want to be the best, if you don't want if you're not willing to accept that, don't say you want to be the best then, right? And it's okay to say you don't want to be the best.